To learn how to hold the censer and appreciate the aroma. This is something that you could pass on also to your guests to help them. Just as we talked about in the last video about how to pass it if you want to do hand to hand, or if you want to do it on the table, if you want to tell them to be gentle so they don't bump it or move it around. Sometimes it does help to explain a little bit to your guests as you get started, so they can know what to do and they feel more comfortable. And also you can protect the incense as well if you explain how to set it down and things, then it won't get bumped and stuff. So we're going to go over how to hold it, how to appreciate it.
我们可以有2个拿法，一个是放在这里，这样子也可以，一个是像拿杯子一样。
Okay, so there's 2 ways to hold it. One's like a tea bowl, where we're just holding it like in the flat palm, and then like this, right? And we're going to use this hand, much as we use this hand like a guide. We're going to use it to guide the fragrance. So we're going to like cap the top and smell into our hand. We're going to make a cap.
Yeah, 做成一个手，做成一个圆的。然后把它放在这个位置。
Yeah, we're going to put it just like she's doing. We're going to make like a little cap for it so we can smell. Right? She said we could also hold the bottom like a cup. So we can hold it like this if we want to. And then the top same. So we're making like a little like shoot so the aroma is guided to our nose.
因为我们的鼻子在这个位置。
So our nose is like right here.
烟从手的下面上来，然后这样子上来，刚好鼻子在这里闻。
The fragrance will come up like this and go right into our nose. We're like guiding the fragrance into our nose, just like we guide the tea bowl with this hand. We're guiding the fragrance into our nose. And then we have to lower it when we exhale. In some traditions, they like look away. 有一些人他们呼然后会这样子吸。
往旁边，他们是拿着，然后
这个不动，
不动，但是头转过去，吐气，然后回来再吸。
So some traditions, they will just keep the censer in the same place, and then they inhale and smell. And then turn their head to exhale, because if you exhale, obviously on the incense, you'll blow it around or blow the ash around or maybe get it off. So you got to be careful of that. That might be also something you want to explain to your guests, like, like how to set it down, or if you're going to pass it hand to hand, or if you're going to set it on the table. If your guests have never been to an incense ceremony, that is. But in our tradition, and I actually like it a little better because it feels more meditative to me. That process of smelling and then turning your head, it feels to me like it's a little bit more disruptive of like my energy, my flow, and a little bit less meditative. So the way that Teacher Chun teaches us is to smell and then just lower the censer as you exhale to your like dantian ma.
对，可以放在丹田。
Yeah. So go from the nose, you inhale, and then down to the dantian to exhale, so you're not blowing the incense very gently and slowly.
因为我们放下来丹田的时候，其实手会很自然的帮它盖起来。
So
所以我们不用担心吐气的时候会喷到它。
As we go down, our hand will naturally, she said, like cover it. So we don't have to worry about blowing the incense as we exhale. And then we open it and come back up. And then down we can exhale. Yeah. And each time, 3次.
对，3次.
So each time you get the censer, you can take 3. Just like in tea ceremony, everything's in 3s. All ceremonies all the stuff is in 3s for you to figure out what that is. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the Trinity, the triple gem, the Taoist 3 that makes all things, etc., etc., etc. So it's always in 3s. Most ceremonies are like that. So we're going to take 3, and then it's time, and then we'll pass. And then the passing is, as we said, could be on the table. We're going to gently set it down, or it could be putting in the hand of the person if you want to do it that way. And we talked about the two kind of approaches to that. One approach is like making that decision based on formality, right? So you do hand to hand when it's people you're casual and comfortable with, and you do the table when it's a little bit more formal setting, a little bit more formal ceremony. That's more the method she follows. But she said then some people don't like the table because of the chance that somebody could bump it and mess up the incense. So they always use hand to hand, even amongst more formal settings. So, but what she usually does is just teach us how to properly set it down, so that in formal settings we can use the table, and in then more casual settings we could pass it hand to hand, right? Okay, so let's go over it one more time. We're going to grab it. We can grab it like this. I like to hold it like a tea bowl, but you can hold it also like a cup like this. But I like this way a little bit better. And then we're going to grab it. This is like holding a tea bowl. It makes me sit up more. It makes me smell more. We're going to make that shoot with our hand, right? So that our nose is right in the right place. You can see the distance. 你要问的时候，它多远？大概这样子啊。Yeah, so you can see right where she puts it when she's smelling. Yeah.
如果说它温度很热的时候，有时候我们在这个位置，它就已经有味道了。
If the temperatures, so the distance, she says, will depend on the incense. First of all, the heat also. If the heat's very strong and the incense are really roasting, you'll have enough fragrance even from this far away. You don't need to come so close. Right? Maybe later in the session, as the charcoal burns down, the aroma has become a little bit more subtle, then you need to come closer. So, and different incenses also, but different temperatures, different times of the ceremony, and then also different, different types of incense also. So, the distances you hold it is not uniform. Right? So you may find, like when the temperature is really hot, or with a particular type of incense, that you're holding it like right here, and boom, boom, it's already enough. It's coming right up into your nose, like already from right here. And then other times you would need to get a little closer. So you'll know right away where it needs to be, just based on your sense. And then you go down to the dantian and kind of cap it as you come down. That happens naturally. Right? And then come back up. And then back down. To exhale. Okay, so that's about it for holding the censer. It's really a lot like holding the tea bowl, only you're just smelling instead of drinking. And with a tea bowl, we don't need to cover it, so we can just kind of go from the heart to the mouth. We don't have to worry about exhaling onto it and blowing the incense around. So, but with this, there's really two methods of that. You keep the censer in the same place and turn your head, or you go down and cap it in the dantian and then come back. Those are the two methods, different traditions, like each one. I really like that she teaches to come down, because I find that when I turn my head, those 3 times I lose a little bit of sensitivity, and the energy flows a little bit differently, and it's a little bit less meditative. So I like the coming down and coming back up and coming back down. It's like I'm staying in an upright posture, and I feel much more connected to the incense and to the smells and the feelings in my body. So I prefer that. And of the two, holding it like a cup with this hand over, or holding it like a bowl, I feel like it's much more secure when I hold it like a bowl, and I sit up a little bit more, and this is again a little bit more solid. But you can experiment a little bit with which one of those you like better when you try. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.